The month of May will keep bringing waves of uplift and release. Openings, new beginnings, and a feeling of restart will be important qualities to look for, next to a sense of stability, especially in the first half of the month. All of this means that you are likely to experience heightened activity and freedom in your life. It is almost as if, after a long stretch of mostly online connections, and thinking of each other or of things to do, life is given back to us, and now we can start to finally make happen what we have needed to keep mostly at the level of ideas or thoughts. A few prominent fluxes between planets will remind us to heed the lessons from last year's lockdown. It will still be important to keep things local and grounded throughout May, and to make the strategy of 2 steps forward and 1 step back your friend and support. Towards the end of the month reaching into early June, you will benefit from taking a pause and conserving some energy, so do in May what you can. Plant your seeds, grow your garden, start taking those steps towards your work that you have been thinking about. In other words, keep busy and keep it local throughout May. And at month's end, take a break. This is the counsel to keep in mind for what's ahead for the next 31 days. Between Sunday, May 2nd and Monday, May 10th, a supportive and beneficial flux will be helping to clear and release the tension we have been collectively holding for the past couple of months. The flux is between Venus and Pluto, and it is a trigon, which means hope, abundance, the future, and faith. In this connection, Venus, ruler of social life, balance and harmony, and the material aspects of life, is in her home in grounded, straight-laced and transparent Taurus. Pluto, still inside Capricorn's forlorn, austere, over-controlling realm, is responsible for the acidic environment and frustration tangible on a large scale. Their trigon will bring a returning greater sense of security, and a larger sense of freedom, and activities will help erode the rust we have accumulated over the past year, bringing optimism and better moods. Between Sunday, May 2nd and Tuesday, May 21st, another helping flux between Mars and Uranus will also bring beneficial, supportive energetics into the collective. The smooth and soft qualities of their sextile finds Mars, the planet of beginnings, in Cancer, and Uranus, planet of perspectives, ambitions, and the future, in Taurus. This further puts the spotlight on social interactions, human connection, and solid ground, and because Mars means a fresh start, we may experience that things are finally moving in this direction once again. On Tuesday, May 4th, Mercury, planet of ideas, communication, and everyday routines, enters home in Gemini. This will further inspire being active, not only in the sense of keeping busy, but in playful and creative ways as well. Anything that includes hand-eye coordination, innovation, operational thinking and cooperation from this day can be expected to go much easier. Between Tuesday, May 4th and Thursday, May 13th, the square Venus in Taurus and Gemini has with Jupiter in Capricorn will keep things real in terms of reminding us that at the collective level, we are still not out of the woods yet. The predominant quality of squares is tension, and that is exactly the nature of this flux between the two planets. Smooth and grounded Venus is responsible for graceful human interactions, and Jupiter rules large crowds and great distances. Within this period, therefore, please allow yourself to appreciate the new emerging sense of stability May brings, but also maintain the principle of caution in how soon or how far you will explore future perspectives. The rule of thumb should still be gradual, mindful opening and seeking connections. On Thursday, May 6th, the Sun will leave its position conjunct with Uranus in Taurus. Uranus rules cognition, complex ideas and everything online, while Taurus realm in the zodiac is about stability, groundedness and tangible, matter-of-fact things. The Sun moving on means that all that Uranus rules is dealt with, and it is time to enter the real world again, and exchange the online world for real, tangible human connection. Between Saturday, May 8th and Tuesday, May 18th, the Sun in stable and straightforward Taurus is in a smooth and graceful flux with Neptune, the great healer planet. In the best-case scenario, this might very well mean that further improvement is to be expected in public health for masses of people. From Saturday, May 8th, the planet Mercury, responsible for thinking and ideas, communication and everyday routines, will be conjunct with the North Node for a week, which helps define the direction towards resolution and constructive outcomes. After a year-long period of lockdown, isolation, and endings, this is good news in terms of bringing a taste of life starting up again, as if a whole new day began at daybreak in a quiet small town. Between Sunday, May 9th and Monday, May 17th, Mercury, ruler of thinking and ideas, communication, and everyday routines, enters into the flux of hope, abundance, and the future with Saturn, ruler of limitations, control and regulations. This will support stretching our limbs, so to speak, and shake out the stiffness from our bones. Their flux may also enhance public mood in a positive way. On Sunday, May 9th, the Sun leaves the tense flux with Saturn, ruler of endings, limitations, and regulations. This will likely feel similar to getting a green light, and we can finally start to feel that indeed, things are moving along, we are free to go, and sense the relief of this at our core. The same day, on Sunday, May 9th, Venus, the planet of social relations, human connections and groundedness, enters the playful and vibrant realm of Gemini. The sign also rules transportation, communication, and movement, which will make our collective return to a larger sense of normalcy and functionality even more noticeable. Between Wednesday, May 12th and Saturday, May 22nd, the Sun enters into a trigon with Pluto. The Sun represents our higher self, while Pluto rules everything that represents blocks and frustration, and acid that may build up when they are not released. Their flux, the trigon, means faith, hope, and the future, and we start to return into tangible, grounded reality with a new sense of integrity. It may feel like rust or the acid buildup is getting cleaned off, and our whole being is breathing anew once again. Fresh air in our system thus sets in where there may have only been irrational fears and phobias before. On Thursday, May 13th, Venus leaves her tense flux with Jupiter. Venus is the planet of grounded energies, social graces, balance, and harmony. Jupiter rules large crowds and great distances. The fact that Venus moves on will likely bring an even greater sense of mobility at the collective level, and further release in regulations and limits. For the majority, this might activate a taste for getting going, business as usual again, and make a sense of caution obsolete. If, however, all circumspection is cast aside and the need to return to normalcy overrules the lessons of the past year and early 2021, it may backfire. So try to keep things reasonable and apply some caution, but do welcome the new sense of movement and activities that Venus represents as she arrives into the zone between transparent, grounded Taurus and volatile Gemini. Friday, May 14th is a very significant day. After the Sun changes signs, so does Jupiter, another great influencer and planetary giant. The event is a highlight because on this day, Jupiter will leave the sign of Aquarius, realm of cognition and thinking, ideas, and everything online. It enters Pisces, realm of health and healing, especially public health and healing on a massive scale. The fact that Jupiter enters Pisces means that the planet's incredibly strong, uplifting, and abundant energy will move things along on the collective in the areas Pisces represents. Pisces at lower levels of manifestation may mean melancholy and even depression. Collective isolation may very well bring into focus depression as a result, especially in case one has a tendency for this condition. It is important to acknowledge the possibility as an indicator of proper health in fact, and an appropriate response to what happens when we do not have to maintain a state of strength and discipline in the face of dire circumstances anymore. Consider it normal that when you may finally let down your guard and feel into what really lives inside of you in the aftermath of a massive collective experience, sadness and feelings of loss represent the truth. When you keep this in mind and reckon with your feelings, allow them to rise up into your consciousness, and then, with care, move along onto solid ground and remain active as best as you can, so you may thrive again. Between Saturday, May 15th and May 22nd, for a week, Venus in Gemini enters into conjunction with the North Node. Venus is balance and harmony, social life, and groundedness. The North Node represents true north, or the direction that shows the way out and towards a resolution. Gemini's realm is creative, playful, carefree, and full of light-hearted movement. After all the green light we get from the previously mentioned fluxes throughout May to activate our individual initiative to open up, this constellation will prompt us further at the level of the collective, by showing the way towards social interaction and a renewed sense of direction together. Between Sunday, May 16th and Wednesday, May 26th, the Sun that represents our higher self enters into a tense flux with Jupiter, ruler of large crowds and great distances. The Sun is still in Taurus at this point in time, while Jupiter just entered Pisces, realm of health and healing, especially at a massive, collective scale. In mid-May, therefore, we may find ourselves uncertain and wondering whether, after what we have been through, it is truly possible to return to a solid sense of reality and find connection. It is even possible that irrational fears in regards to this will keep pouring out. This flux is one of the most challenging, most difficult throughout the month of May, which overall offers optimistic and promising energetic qualities both on an individual and at collective levels. Keep your guards up therefore, so you avoid inadvertently falling into a depressive or pessimistic state, and allow the qualities of availability and a tangible, active attitude keep you on solid ground and lift you up. Between Sunday, May 16th and Thursday, June 10th, another challenging flux gets activated between Mercury and Neptune. Mercury rules creativity and carefree, playful movement, as well as ideas and thinking, and Neptune rules health and healing, especially public health and healing on a massive scale. Their connection is coherent with the overall prompt throughout May to return to each other publicly and at the collective level, and carry on with life more or less business as usual. The square between these two planets, however, contains the possibility of the same scenario we discussed earlier, which is that as we leave isolation, the tension we had needed to control may want to find an outlet. This flux will last for almost a month because Mercury goes retrograde within this period. And as the beginning of May was moving things along with another challenging flux, we may default into a state of melancholy on an individual as well as a collective level. Simultaneously, between Sunday, May 16th and Monday, May 24th, the inner planet Venus enters into a trigon with Saturn. Trigons are a flux of faith, hope and abundance, and they also tell of the prospective future. Venus is groundedness, social graces, balance and harmony, while Saturn is endings and limitations. This flux between them means that if we maintain a sense of gradual, reasonable attitude and comply with still active regulations and limitations, we may keep a state of balance and still make progress and even see perspectives unfolding. On Friday, May 21st, the Sun enters Gemini. This is a boost to anything that belongs to the realm of activity, playful, creative endeavors, and taking care of everyday business and routines. When the Sun arrives in Gemini, it also always brings a heightened sense of spring and a taste of early summer into the collective. At this time, Jupiter is in an exact square with the Sun, so it is best to keep things local and away from the larger scopes of the public or traveling abroad, for instance. Between Saturday, May 22nd and Tuesday, June 8th, this constellation brings significant potential for healing on the collective level. It even has the flavor of a breakthrough regarding the magnitude of its effect in moving things along. On a personal level, we may start to feel an urgency in being physically and emotionally close and even intimate with each other again. And in turn, our connections may fill up with the qualities of hope, faith, and abundant perspectives. On Sunday, May 23rd, Saturn turns retrograde in Aquarius, the zodiacal realm of cognition and high-level thinking, ideas, and everything online. The planet Saturn rules endings and regulations, and will stay in retrograde motion until October 11th. This indicates that everything we mentioned under the rule of Aquarius will still hold weight and a sense of serious significance this year. In fact, in the next 6 months period, the best possible scenario is to design a way of existence in which cognitive and online areas and a sense of a grounded, human way of being are present in life in equal measure. This almost holds the key for making the most of 2021. Between Sunday, May 23rd and Tuesday, June 1st, Venus enters a tense flux with Neptune. Venus rules harmony and balance, tangible connections, groundedness, and social interactions, at this time in the realm of carefree and playful Gemini. The planet Neptune, responsible for states of health and healing especially at public, collective levels, is currently in Pisces. The square between them is a tense constellation and warns against abandoning all caution no matter how much we have been yearning to connect with each other in the physical world. In the opposite case, at the end of the month we may experience a relapse in collective health and healing once again. Simultaneously, between Monday, May 24th and Wednesday, June 2nd, the two inner planets closest to Earth, Mercury and Venus, enter conjunction in carefree and playful Gemini. This gives reason for a sense of well-founded optimism, and again, a green light to getting things done. Dare to be creative. When the pace is right and we remain content at a local level, foregoing the ambition to appeal to vast crowds, we have the full support of the universe. Between Thursday, May 27th and Sunday, June 6th, the Sun also enters conjunction with the North Node in carefree and playful Gemini. The North Node sets due course, gives direction towards true north, and brings prospective resolutions. In May, after all three fast-moving inner planets transit the North Node, a new way opens up in terms of setting the direction towards our place and status in the world. Between Friday, May 28th and Sunday, June 13th, Mars in Cancer enters into opposition with Pluto, at this time in retrograde motion in the zodiacal realm of lockdown and blocks in Capricorn. Cancer is the polar opposite of Capricorn's isolated, meager and austere realm, and is all about proximity, connection and soft intimacy. The tension in this case will rise from a possible tendency to resolve our long separation and belonging to each other by force or going against the rules of necessary caution and discipline. The best counsel for this period is to build stamina but remain flexible in how we return to our tangible, real, physical life and to each other. Between Tuesday, May 29th and Tuesday, June 8th, the Sun enters into a trigon, flux of hope, faith and prospective abundance with Saturn. The Sun at this time is in playful and creative Gemini, while Saturn, the planet of rules, regulations and endings, is in Aquarius. Granted that we are not rushing after a definite ending to finally conclude the events of the past year and preserve our center and integrity, life can finally start to reward our patience and foresight and turn the lessons into gold for our benefit. Between Sunday, May 30th and Tuesday, June 22nd, Mercury, the planet of thinking and communication, transportation and everyday routines, goes retrograde in home territory. Mercury rules Gemini, and during the retrograde period will stay in this territory, prompting us to slow down after the stabilizing, recalibrating effects the entire month of May was about. Mercury retrograde in Gemini in early June also gives the chance to slow down after a fairly active period. The planet in convenient home territory signals that all is well, but it is necessary to take some time out and process all that was new in May. Between Sunday, May 30th and Tuesday, June 8th, Mercury will enter a trigon with Jupiter, the great benefactor planet. The trigon is a flux of hope and faith, abundance, and great prospects, and the two planets in this constellation, while Mercury is retrograde in Gemini, signal that at the fundamental level, things are beginning to take shape once again. But rest is needed, because after the past couple of months, and indeed the entire year, we still need to regain our sense of direction and clean off some rust before we feel at home in our lives' business as usual. Therefore, during the first week of June, spend time outdoors or choose other recreational methods like a spa treatment, or even just the comfort of your bathtub to relax and retreat. Otherwise, keep up the good work with any new sense of regained activeness and carry on.